Hello everyone, Miss McManus here. The last couple lessons I posted have been about figuring out how healthy your relationship is and asking you to think about what it is that makes a healthy relationship for you. I want to talk to you today about what to do if you have a friend who is in a relationship that you don't think is healthy. The most important thing you could ever do for your friends is really listen to them. Let them know that you hear what they're saying. You can use as a reminder that SLANT acronym we were using in school this year, or just think about what it means for you to be a good listener. But when they're telling you something that's important, you want to be sitting still, leaning forward, asking them questions so they know you're following what they're saying, nodding and giving those other nonverbal signals that let them know, tracking with your eyes, keeping your focus on them, not looking away to check your phone or think about other things when they're telling you something that's important to them. It probably seems kind of crazy to say, but one of the most important ways to respond when someone tells you that their relationship is making them scared or feel unsafe is to believe them. It often can be surprising because people we wouldn't suspect will make choices we wouldn't have expected. So it can be helpful to know that 1 in 3 teens will experience some kind of relationship abuse during their teenage years. So if you've got a few best friends, it's likely that at least one of them will have to deal with something like this. It probably doesn't even need to be said that you want to let your friend know that you believe that he or she is valuable and important, and that you care about how they're feeling. It's important to remember, though, because when people are suffering from verbal or emotional or physical abuse, they can start to doubt their own importance and their own value. So it's a really important time to reassure them that you know that they matter. I'll be honest, this is the hardest step for me. If someone is sharing with you some problems they're having in their relationship, you want to talk about the behavior they're describing and resist the temptation. At least for me, it's a temptation to maybe trash talk a person you don't think is treating your friend very well. Because as soon as you say to your friend, I told you he was controlling, then you're asking her to be defensive and stand up for the person who's maybe not treating her well. So if you can instead just describe the behavior, talk about how it makes you feel, and be open to her. I don't like it that he does this. This is how it makes me feel. How do you feel about it? Do you mind it? That lets her know that you realize she has power and opinions that matter. You can also make a safety plan with your friend if she's worried about whether she's actually going to be okay. And that safety plan can kind of go from the biggest emergency to a long-term plan. So you should make sure she knows she can call 911 if she's really in danger. She might feel more comfortable calling Vera House or visiting the Love is Respect webpage or texting them. Vera House is our Central New York place of support for people dealing with violence in relationships, and Love is Respect is the nationwide Center for Teen Relationship Health. And in either one of those, she can find someone who can talk through with her what her options are and give her some advice. You might want to think about offering a code word to your friend. What that means is if she's in a position where she can't talk freely, but she needs to let you know that things are not good, you can invent another friend who doesn't exist, and you can have her tell you, Nancy's having a really bad day today, and that could be your code for things are not good, but I can't go into detail right now. I'm just letting you know. And finally, don't rule out that sometimes you want to bring in a trusted adult, maybe one of your parents or maybe a teacher or counselor that you trust at school. It can be really hard to avoid giving our friends what we call ultimatums, which is a word that means do this or else. And after you've watched your friend struggle and be treated badly and suffer, it's very natural to feel like you just want to say to her, if you don't end this relationship, don't talk to me about it anymore because I can't handle it. But it turns out it's really much more helpful, even if it goes against our instincts, to just keep that conversational door open no matter how much your friend is not listening to your advice. So using sentences like, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. I know you're happy with the way things are now, but if that changes, let me know. I promise not to judge you. Anything that lets your friend know that you're going to stay on their side and be willing to talk to them. The reason for this is the average woman makes 7 attempts to leave before she ends an unhealthy relationship, meaning she breaks up with him and goes back, or she moves out and moves back in, or she talks about breaking up with him but doesn't go through with it, which is really frustrating if you're the friend who just wants this to be over for your friend. But on the other hand, it can be helpful to keep in mind that you have to do the first time before you do the second time, right? So every time that you help your friend make that hard decision is actually helping her make progress. Because here's the thing, on the screen is some art that women who have worked with Vera House to recover from being in unhealthy relationships have made to celebrate their recovery and look back and let go of some of the pain that they carried with them. Because it really is possible to leave an unhealthy relationship and things really can get better. Vera House, our agency here in Syracuse, has a really cool program called the Clothesline Project, where people who have come out of violent or unhealthy relationships design t-shirts that look back on the pain they suffered or celebrate the distance they've traveled. And those t-shirts are on display at places like you might have seen them at the New York State Fair. So just one more reminder that people really are strong and resilient, and we really can help each other to come out of hard things.